Hey everybody, I'm back live in action and reporting for duty. Today is day 5 and this is probably one of the more authentic days as we are pushing forward and staying consistent. So I'm very excited to be here today because this is one of them days, as well as yesterday, that it was like there were things that was pressing in on me that would, y'all know how we do, make excuses and reasons for why we won't show up or why we can't show up for ourselves. But I'm here to continue to push through regardless of all of the above, because if we're gonna constantly show up for others and show up for the world, show up for other jobs and show up for our bills, then that's where I'm gonna come in at and say, you know what, I'm gonna show up for me first. I'm gonna do what I gotta do today that's going to help build into my brighter future that I see for myself for tomorrow. And tomorrow is never promised. So if you don't do it today, then why go another day without getting it done? And I'm just talking about whatever it is that we truly want to do, that because God gave us a life for us to live. So again, today is day 5 of us working in our Unlock Your Unique, Live Your Superpower Mental Health Workbook. Yay! So anyway, y'all, to keep this brief for today, because we showed up and we showed out, I'm going to go over our affirmation page for today. I'm going to go over our worksheet. We have 2 worksheets for today. The first worksheet is focused on the positive. No, y'all, my bad, that's yesterday. Oof, I'm just been scooting and booting all up through this life, okay? So our affirmation page that we have for today is I trust myself and my instincts. Our 2 worksheets that we have for today, number 1, we have coping with cravings worksheet. And number 2, we have working through anger. And then our other worksheet page that we have, I still haven't quite figured out what's the name of this page, y'all. But this page that we have is called Free Yourself from Social Competition and Learn to Love Your Life, okay? So as I briefly go through and get on up here, through here, I trust myself and my instincts, okay? Today is going to be one of them days where I'm not going to just share all of my answers with you all, but just kind of go through to let you all know just like the worksheets and the pages, what it consists of for today 5. And as we got into and tapped into trusting yourself with your instincts, this is a process, and it's very important that you get to know yourself you get to know yourself on an internal level, because a lot of the things, or half the things that we set as goals, that we say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, your inner self don't even trust your outer self to get things done. So it's almost as if you laugh at yourself. And so when it comes into your instincts is something, it's a buildup of your experiences that you are aware of. And this could be a conscious and a subconscious thing. And so that's why I say your inner self laughs at the fact that you don't get stuff done, or your inner self know it don't get stuff done. So when you come up here with all your little goals and all the little things that you want to do in life, you say, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, okay, you know that you can talk a good game, but when it comes time to show up for yourself, what happens if you don't feel like it? What happens if you didn't have a good day yesterday? What happens if your morning didn't start off good? And I am truly speaking from experience, because I used to shut all the way down. I used to say, God, I can't have Bible study today because my boyfriend pissed me off. At the time I was married, so my husband pissed me off. I couldn't do it. I could not go to work. Okay, I used to tell my money, hold on, you're gonna have to wait because I'm not feeling it today. I used to tell myself, that's just what it used to be for me. So what I learned over this year's worth of experience from dealing with myself is that, 1, I actually am capable. 2, I can trust myself and my capabilities, because I put my trust in the wrong areas of life, in the areas that was actually not going to celebrate me, in the areas that was not going to clap for me, in the areas that was not going to show up for me. I was trusting in the fact that I was trusting in being disappointed. I was trusting in the fact that other people could get on my nerves. Okay, I'm just gonna say all of that like that to keep it short. But a few things that I do want to highlight from our trusting myself and my instincts worksheet, y'all, is my instincts are the voice of my wisdom. My wisdom has access to all of my knowledge and all of my past. Everything I know and everything I have ever experienced guides my wisdom. And I am becoming a wiser and more capable person each day. My enhanced wisdom is available to me the next time I have to make a decision. I have great trust in myself, and I am a capable person. Y'all, and I am a capable person, and I have demonstrated to myself that I am trustworthy. So once you demonstrate to yourself, that's why you gotta set small increments of goals. Like if you say, you know what, like your diet, changing the things that you watching on TV, like it could be little things like that go into the pot. If you say you're not going to do something, then don't do it. If you say you are going to do something, then do it. If you say, you know what, today I just need to drink water all day, no juice, no soda, just limit my sugar, because first of all, doing things like that could be physically healthy for your body and for your mind. And you build your trust within yourself when you choose to do something that no one else knows that you're doing, but you know that you're doing, and you can continue to pour into yourself. Nobody has to know that you're only drinking water all day. Unless somebody offers you a soda, you say, no, I'm gonna just drink water today. Or you say, no, I'm good with this water. So choose to do something that you don't have to talk about, that you don't have to tell nobody what you're doing. And just do it in small increments that you can build your trust, because building your trust also builds your instincts. When you build your instincts, you can flow through life knowing that this is for me and this is not for me. And you can building your instincts builds your wisdom, and it also builds your discernment. You begin to hear things clearer. You begin to see things clearer. If someone is in your life that's not for you, instead of celebrating you, they're jealous of you, you can begin to discern things of that nature. You can begin to walk away, step away, or push away anything that's for you. Okay, whatever another person got on their plate, you do not have to eat it. I don't care if we sit at the same table, I don't care what table you sit on, I don't care what table I'm sitting at. I don't gotta eat nothing else that's on nobody else's plate if I don't want to. So that's our instincts, our trust myself and my instincts affirmation worksheet. As you can see, it's so much that goes into it, which makes this great for us to digest. The next worksheet is coping with cravings, and this worksheet was good because we all have something that we like to run to, okay? And as it states, a lot of people run to food, gambling, alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, sex, and etc. Things that we may or may not should be watching on TV, listening to certain music that we should not be listening to, because if you're listening to music that's filled with rage and anger, or watching specific television shows, you're feeding that into your spirit. You're feeding that into yourself. And so it helps you to come up with, it says, so first of all, delay. Instead of running to what you normally run to, delay that. You know what I'm saying? You know what it be like, what it feel like for you to be delayed in life. You're looking for something, you're trying to get something, whether you're trying to get approved for an apartment or a new job, something specific. My brother, one of my brothers has been trying to get approved into a homeless shelter, and it's like, it's a process. So he's been delayed for shelter, living shelter. So if we can face delay in life, we can learn how to take the things that has been thrown to us and throw it back into the world in a way that now we're starting to benefit from it. So first of all, let's start to delay our cravings, the stuff that we normally or naturally run into. If you naturally normally pick up your phone and go into social media, or if somebody make you mad, you gotta hurt being like call somebody, like delay that, sit in yourself for a second, okay? Another reason why this delay method is so important is because it helps you to stay on top of your first responders when you are triggered. We often go into a flight or fight mode, and so what happens is we're going to subconsciously react to what we are experiencing. And so while we're delaying that, we're teaching ourselves to sit inside of what we're experiencing, to know that it is okay, and we actually don't have to reach for anything because we're okay and we're going to naturally push through it. So to delay the coping is to let yourself literally see that you are actually okay and you can make it through it. So I wrote out, and I'm gonna just do what I'm supposed to do, y'all. I wrote out some ways that I would delay running into my cravings is so you gotta do something that passes the time by. So journal my process, write out what it is that I'm feeling. I like to vlog a lot because I like to go back and listen to my mindset, listen to my mentality, and see, oh, you know what, when I was thinking that way, I see how today I overcome that way of thinking. I see how today I'm a little bit more wiser with my words. I'm mindful with my words. I'm mindful to the situation at hand. So anyway, so delay, distract, decide are the three main barriers, or the three main strategies that can help us in redirecting our cravings. Okay, so delay that craving, don't run into it, hold on for a second, distract yourself with something physical that you're passing the time by. Oftentimes we're bored, okay, and that was one of the questions that say, why do you run into doing this? Because I was bored. That was my answer, and I'm just gonna keep it a bean with you like I'm supposed to. So the next is decide. So make a conscious decision not to get into that craving, and understand it goes into, what is your reason for indulging? Like I said, boredom. What is the reason not to indulge? One of the reasons that I chose not to indulge is because indulging can compromise my psyche, or my mental health, my emotional, physical, and even my spiritual health. Y'all, oftentimes that person that's inside of us is our spirit person that knows better than what we know. And so why would you want to stop? I'd rather not put my trust or my dependence in anything that is outside of myself. I am truly all I have, and I cannot compromise my relationship with myself. I need my full awareness, and to limit compromising my life in any way. My internal freedom is connected to my consciousness, and that's the most important part of me, to me, is my internal freedom and my consciousness. And it says, what's my goals? So my goals is just to keep going a second, even if I'm just going another second, even if I go another day, just take it a second at a time, a day at a time, but just knowing that I'm keep going and trusting that God is with me. So this morning I was on the treadmill and I was working out. Well, I was on the Stairmaster. And I was looking at the time. I gave myself a budget, y'all. I gave myself the goal as far as what time I'm going to stop, and it was getting close to that time. And I was trying to change the time within myself. I tried to be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I can not go at this time, or maybe maybe I can stop at this time. And so I was literally watching the seconds, okay? So that is what I'm speaking into. Like, every second of our life counts, because 1 second could have been a second too late. 1 second could have been a second too early. Choosing to keep going, even if it's for 1 more second, can add 1 more piece of strength into your endurance and your perseverance and your willingness to keep going. Once you build up your stamina to keep going, your willingness to keep going, your reasons to keep going, that's less reasons to stop, regardless of what is thrown at your way, regardless of what it is that you keep going in. Our next worksheet is working through anger. So the Bible tells us that we should not give anger a foothold. Don't fall asleep in anger, because anger, when you can speak, you can have conversations through anger. And it's one thing to have a pure-hearted and a pure-minded conversation, But it's another thing to have a conversation through anger, or to listen to one speak through anger. And like I said, you're feeding anger, you're feeding rage, and you're feeding that into yourself. Every time that you dish it out, you're feeding it into your spirit. So again, our method that we are coming up with is our delay, distract, and decide. Make a conscious decision that there are consequences for each action that you take. Excuse me, y'all. I meant to say be conscious and aware enough to know that there are consequences behind every decision that we make. And so it says, what is your plan? Well, actually, let's go into this. It is helpful to slow down your reaction to things that trigger you and anger you. Give yourself some time before you react. The longer you wait, the more likely your anger will pass and or become more manageable. Now, it's time that you think about how you want to respond and the consequences of your response, the consequences of your choice. So the worksheet listed for us to list out a plan. Okay, and then it also lists some things that you can do to distract yourself. So delaying, or find something that you can do, again, something physical that you can do. Like for me, all my answers for the most part are like genuinely the same. And this is how you will be able to see who you are as a person. What do you turn to? I like to turn to my pen. I like to write, whether I'm journaling, whether I'm writing out a song, writing music, making music. I'm a person of communication. I used to try to constantly speak and communicate. However, that could also not be good. That cannot be a wise, y'all, I'm trying to get the words. I used to try to communicate. Sometimes you can communicate too fast. Sometimes the very specific emotion that you're feeling should not be communicated through. So if I'm angry, this may not be the right time for me to communicate with the person at hand, because something is going to come out of my mouth that's going to be connected to anger. And so again, distract by doing something physical, and decide. So reminding yourself of why you do not want to react with anger. Make a conscious decision not to act impulsively. So it also lists for you to put some reasons why you will not act in anger, why you want to stop acting out of anger, and what are your goals. The final worksheet that we have for today is free yourself from social competition and learn to love your life. So I highlighted some good key pointers that I really enjoyed reading, and I really soaked into my brain, my mind, my heart, my spirit. And so one thing that I wrote is, when you are starting to compare yourself to others, you may find that there is no winner, that everyone feels hurt everyone feels hurt afterwards, okay, when you start to compare yourself. So this worksheet is mostly speaking of people that are in your life, on a close-knit in your life, right? So if you got people around you, they tell you something, and you got to compare what they telling you to what you think and how you feel. Sometimes it's better don't involve yourself. So, example, I was on Facebook, and I saw a post, I saw a video that I think it was something not nice happening in the video. And somebody commented and said, I don't know why people put themselves in this situation. I would never be in that situation, because if it was me, then X, Y, and Z. So this was not a time for you to put yourself in that person's shoes. So sometimes we can put ourselves in another person's shoes at the wrong time, because now you got to experience what they're experiencing. And if you are saying that you would not put yourself, this would not be you in that situation, then why would you turn around and put yourself in this situation? And so this is one of the very important reasons why it is important to be mindful with our words and live present in the moment. That way we can be more conscious about how we are to show up and how we are to respond to very specific scenarios. So another important thing that I highlighted, y'all, I think I like that word, okay? So I highlighted that competition can lead to rivalry, can also lead to jealousy, anger, and unhappiness for yourself and all people included. So it is important to remove yourself from social competition. And you can remove yourself from social competition by remaining polite, refusing to compare in each other's situations. Okay, just excusing yourself. And or how I like to do a lot, sometimes if I don't respond to that part, it didn't apply to me. So how one person told me not too long ago, maybe a couple months ago, to eat the meat and spit out the bones, because I kept over processing something that did not belong to me. And so when they told me to eat the meat, spit out the bones, I've never heard that saying before, and I was very thankful and happy to hear it, because I'm like, that's exactly what is this specific moment is. So I'm glad to have heard that. And so friendship, I'm just gonna continue on with this worksheet. Friendship is about supporting one another. So some interactions that we have can cause us to feel unhappy with our friends. And no, it wrote, y'all, she wrote, I wrote. These interactions can cause you to feel happy when your friends are down and frustrated if something good is happening to them. This is what comparison can do for your mind, your heart, and your body. So now, she did write that although you can have some scenarios that happen, you can also nurture your friendship and to the point where they can stand any test of time at any given point of your friendship. So the reason why I also want to highlight that part or magnify that part is because we don't always have to walk away from people, places, and things. Sometimes it is a stretching point of our growth. Sometimes it's made and it's put in front of our face for us to grow through that, for you to actually outgrow being in competition with other people. Being in competition is cool and all when you bowling or when you playing games and you trying to win, but when your life, winning your life by overcoming obstacles in your life, okay? Don't just try to compare yourself to other people, because you could be comparing yourself to the lesser than of them all, and you think you're doing something and you're really not, okay? The only thing you're doing is pushing that person down even more when they're already the lesser one of them all, to make yourself, to build your ego, make yourself feel like you doing good, like you talking about something. So it says, focus on what you have. Well, I love words, okay? So what I like to do sometimes is I like to go through and highlight certain words and rebuild the sentence. And what I did was focus on what you have. Before you know it, positive thoughts will be second nature to you, and you'll begin to love your life. So like I said, y'all, I'm a person of communications, but I had to learn how to communicate. And even still today, I'm an expert at communicating to myself, because I remember all the times where I hid my voice, all the times where I swallowed the words that I should have spoke out, all the times where I was belittled, my words were belittled, my feelings were belittled, and etc. So communicating began to be my love language, and then I would overly communicate to those that I love, and it could cause a chain reaction of not some good things happening, y'all. So I say all that to say, I still may not be the best communicator if in comparison to the next or whatever, or I still may not be the best communicator to any person who feels that I'm not the best communicator. But to me, I love my life because I chose to get up and do it anyway. Me standing here before you today, despite what I used to know about myself, what I used to think and feel about myself, would cause me to still behave in that mentality. But me knowing that, hey, I can try, I can get up, I can do the best that I can, even when I don't feel like it, because even while I'm in the midst of doing it, when I didn't feel like it, guess what? That feeling of not feeling like it will go away. The feeling of, hey, I'm in it now, so let me just try. Let me build from where I am. And I just continue to build from where I am. So, to sum up this overall, I did write, I love my life. I do what makes me happy. I do many things that I enjoy. My life is full of love. I inspire myself to keep going in the many things, or to keep going in the many more that God has for me. So maybe I should have wrote in the many things that God has for me, but in the many more made sense at the time. So God has a lot of things for us, a lot in store for us, and oftentimes we will face many challenges to make it there, to become him or to become her. But all you need to know is that it is possible and that you can do it, okay? Even if it look like you failed or you're failing, say to yourself, it's possible, I can do it. It's possible, I can do it. Because if it's possible, why you can't do it? If other people can do it, why you can't? So it is possible and you can do it. So this was day 5 in our Unlock Your Unique, Live Your Superpower mental health workbook for today. You can get your mental health workbook if you still haven't got it yet by going to artsandmentalclarity.net. Okay, you can purchase. Y'all hit me up in a DM, hit me up wherever y'all see me at, and let me know that you want to get your book, and we're gonna make that happen for you. Okay, life is just about giving it all that you have. Don't worry about the rest. Okay, let God do the rest. Give your life all you have, and let God do the rest. Okay, I love you. Have a super califragilistic expialidocious day today. Love on yourself for today. Be kind to yourself today. Start over if you got to today, and be okay with that. Okay, don't be out there playing with the folks. Don't be out there letting folks play with you, and don't be playing with God, because God ain't playing about you. And the newest one is, don't be playing with you, because it's time to wake up on you. Okay, it's time to wake up about you. It's time to rise up about you. You hear me? I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in day 6 of Unlock Your Unique, Live Your Superpower with Arts of Mental Clarity. Bye.